Okay, now we are live, Agneta, and now I have a really special person here, Agneta, and we are going way back in time. So when we start to know each other, we were in the corporate world, in the high heels and the fancy nails in Sweden, in Stockholm. And now we have Agneta here in Bali, and I'm here on the mountaintop in California. And also Agneta is the very first light spider on this planet. And I remember we did your spider in an 8 hours long session. And this is 12 years ago. 12 years, Agneta. So
Amazing.
what you're about to hear today is what's happening and how is it to live with a live spider and your ego for such a long time as 12 years. And it's also really interesting. You will soon allow you to talk, Agneta. But it was so interesting.
No
And
problem.
in the end of this conversation, I will ask you to do a reflection about what have happened today. And Agneta really demonstrated what's happening if you don't do it. Because just before this ego evolution, I gave Agneta a call and asked if she want to join the ego evolution. And her first reaction was, no, Birgitta, I don't know. I don't think so because I haven't been working with my spider at all. So I'm not connected with my light spider. And from there, what happened, Agneta? Can you let us know?
Yeah, I can let you know. I said I need a brush up. I need a coach session with you so we can really go into my spider again and update it. And so we did. And I think we started the call with, I was a little bit of bragging about my new life in Bali, how I live in a beautiful house and how good my life is and such things. And then we went into one of my most tricky spider legs. We can go deeper into that. And all of a sudden, Birgitta, you just told me like, why do you hesitate about this? You are just living the spider. You don't work with it. Like I said, I haven't worked with it. I haven't checked it for 1 year since we had our last call. But actually, I all of a sudden I realized that I'm really living the spider and all those 6 legs as well. So I just checked them out, all of them, one at a time, and I thought, in one way or another, I really do it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be so.
Exactly. And I took you on this, as you said, you were bragging about, no, you were not bragging. You were telling me, you were excited to tell me how you are living and how you have people who help you and everything. And Agneta's driving force, one of the trickier one was greedy. And it was kind of there you realized, and then we start to look at all the other legs. So you were in the middle of it. So
true.
that was so much fun. But now you are more aware that you actually are living your spider in the fullest.
I do.
And
really.
Yes. Yeah. And but now we are going to focus on, I think that was one of the hardest, I even remember the hardest driving force for you to admit was the greedy driving force. Am I right? Yeah. So why was that so tricky and hard for you?
It was so long time ago, so I don't remember exactly if we first found out the intention. And I would say my intention, where greed is my driving force for the intention, create wealth and freedom.
Yeah.
And but when you suggested that word like greed or greedy, I said, no, that's not me. I'm not a greedy person. You can ask anybody and they would tell I'm the most generous person they know, or at least one of them, with money and with the resources and caring and or whatsoever. But sooner or later I realized that I really, it's something in me that really wants the best. Sometimes I'm denying myself the best, but in my mind, I want to go to the best. Like I went for this house, like a beautiful mansion here in Bali. It's a very exceptional. I want the best. So, and then to get that result, you need a little bit of greed.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think it was like that.
So typical when you say you deny it for you. I mean, that's a sign that it actually is your ego that's so scared to show up because it's scared to be rejected. And that's why you say, no, I'm not greedy. I'm the most generous person in the world. For me, that's the biggest symptom, a sign. Okay, here we got something. Yeah. So how how is your ego feeling now when you actually allow it to be a part of your life? It's okay to be greedy.
Yeah, in my special definition, it is for sure, and it made a lot of sense when you asked me. You are still going for the small banana. You said, but you want the big banana, but you are going for the small one. And then I could realize, it's something in I guess my self-worth or something that I'm kind of denying myself my birthright, like the assets in life or something like that. And so I really feel like, I will grab a hold of this and really allow myself to be like greedy. And to really I want the best, best things out of life, whatever area it is in.
That's
so it feels
amazing.
Good, really good.
Okay, and we, as you said, we had a couple of Spyder sessions to just refresh your life Spyder. And as you told me just before we started, you are just looking at your Spyder maybe every second, every third year or something, because it's so integrated in you. But still, we found did some discovery, and that was a big hit home for you, Agneta. And so I don't know if you want to share some of it at least.
Of course I will do that. And all that stuff happened in the leg where the driving force is significance. And when we started, I was in the corporate, I was running an advertising agency, I was in business, so that was used to be like my business leg. And during the years, I have like adjusted my business. I wanted to make my company more conscious, and so we changed both a little bit with the intention and also the life projects. But then I ended up here in Bali like 3 years ago, and I'm living here like a retired free woman, and life is pretty easy, and I don't like work in the ordinary way. But what I'm doing here, I kind of, I'm like a senior woman. I'm almost 64. And I'm like a mama here for the young people. So some people call me, like adopted me as a mama. And it's also like one of my roles to take care of people and whatsoever. And I was in a session and found out that this is one of my really good qualities, like being a nurturing person. And this word like big mama came up. Okay, so this is what I'm working. I'm a big mama here, and I remember because I tried to sneak in that big mama in the driving force to change to take away significance and change it for big mama. But then you said no, this is still your driving force. But okay, we had like big mama as an intention. Anyway. What I found out, I work a lot with myself and a lot about with my femininity and coming back to my true feminine power and such things. And I really realized I don't want to be a big mama anymore, because it prevents me so much from living my life fully as a woman and as a person and in my power. So in our last coaching session, we kind of we killed Big Mama and took it away. And I changed that intention to beauty generates love. And that's something very, very different. And you said it's no more baking cakes, serving other people like a mama or a grandmama. It's time to go out to kill the dragons. You're a
Yes.
heroine. That's one of my other legs. Heroines don't bake cakes; they kill dragons. So
Yeah, exactly.
it was such an aha moment. It was so liberating, really
Yeah.
so liberating to really. I still have my nurturing qualities, and I love them, and people love them, and I embrace them. But this is not my identity, because Big Mama became my identity, and that was not a good thing for me.
Exactly. And sometimes, and that's what's happening, if you don't do the reflection, and especially if you have your life, but you have your driving forces, and now and then actually reflect and see how am I doing, and you kind of make something up because it's happened, and you protect your driving force to take place in your life. So your Big Mama was a huge protection for not be significant or be the heroine, and even the high priestess, that
True.
driving force too. And
Yes,
then you
yes,
make up
yes.
so the Big Mama were coming from your logical mind, not from the spirit, not from you. And the brain
No,
sometimes
no,
it's
yeah.
so tricky, and try to rewrite what's actually what are you, who you
Yeah,
are. And that's
yeah,
what's
and
happening.
it diminished me. Yeah, it
Yeah, and
diminished
that's
me
what's
a lot,
happening.
like making me
Mhm.
small.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And the power, and you get weak, and other people in your surroundings start to look at you as a kind of just a nice, nurturing person, and they
yeah.
don't see the power and yeah, this dragon killing woman. They see a
Yeah.
baking Big Mama who takes two more bananas.
Beautiful metaphors. I will never forget them. Thank you for them.
No, no. No, it's so much interest. And before, so I don't forget it, there was something else we were talking about that I want you to share with everyone, and it's about the life projects. You've the relief you felt about the life projects.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because from the beginning I felt like naming a life project in a certain like a huge massive name, it made a lot of pressure. I felt a lot of pressure about that.
Mhm.
So okay,
Yeah.
I have six life projects, and during the years I had to admit that it sometimes like the more pressure comes, yeah, I got a kind of a little bit of a whip. Why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do that? You're just a lazy woman living, enjoying a lovely Bali life, and so on. But it was also something I realized during our last session, when you said that those life projects, they are super big, they are 5-dimensional, they are universal projects that more than one people are kind of responsible for. So, and that was also like a relief in me, that I don't need to do this all of myself, and it's good enough if I kind of start up something, and even if I pass over tomorrow, I've started up something that other people can continue, and other lots of people in the world are working with, or are living the same life projects that I am. So it was also such a relief to realize that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the relief you are talking about, because the ego and the life project kind of have the same kind of energy. And so the
Yes.
pressure you feel when, oh, I have to do this, I have to accomplish this, it's actually a pressure you
Yeah.
put on your driving force. And if the pressure, so this
Yes.
is
Yes.
another protection for the driving force, it's draw their, I mean, their spears back, because they don't want to have all this pressure or all those doings. So that's
Yes.
why,
Yes.
yeah, so that's what's happened. And when
Mm.
the ego feel released and relaxed, and it's like, okay, now I can be me. I don't have to just
Mm.
work all the time. I can be me, and I can
Yeah.
express my.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
another thing that's good. You have to remove the pressure from the ego to just be doing
Yeah. True.
for
And I
others
had a
most of
lot
the
of
time.
pressure. I've had a lot of too much pressure in my life. It's been I've been driven by struggles and pressures and everything. And now when I finally are allowed to kind of relax, that also felt like a big relief and relaxation to realize that it's enough. It's enough to be, actually. I don't need to do. It's enough when I'm, like we said in the beginning, when I'm living the spider, and I'm living this. I don't need to achieve and to do and to perform or whatsoever. And that is such a realization. It could be
but
enough
on
to
the
just
other
be. It'd be
hand,
better if I do something, of course, but
yeah, but on the other hand, you actually are doing lots of stuff. And because I remember right now in this Corona times, and I don't remember which driving force are helpful for you, because you are helping lots of people in Bali with food and
yeah, I think it actually the greeting we were talking about the greeting leg, because the intention is creating wealth and freedom, and
yes.
Bali says a very Corona is affecting all the world, but it's very, very tough for the Balinese because they have no jobs, everything is closed. So what I'm doing, very small scale, like I'm kind of helping people financially in different projects and different individuals in my Balinese friends to really survive it. And it's also something, the life project we call Compassion Invest, and it was a very, very big one from the beginning. But right now, I kind of living it. This is also Compassion Invest. I invest my compassion and my money to a certain extent in good projects, like helping people to create wealth and freedom, for sure.
Yeah. And I think that's important to know for everyone. When it comes, you say you are using your greedy driving force to do this, and your driving force, your ego, are satisfied because it's doing the right thing in the right direction, and it's you actually have a partnership with your soul. So it doesn't has to be, I mean, a corporate business. It doesn't has to be huge, a business or whatever, but you are still you're taking one little step in the right direction, and the driving force, this greedy driving force, have a place to express itself, and then the ego is satisfied. That's why sometimes you have to reflect on what you actually are doing, and it doesn't have to be what other people or in this old 3D world think this is a good thing. So you with your experience with your Spyder for such a long time, you had getting over that, so you actually do things that are right for you and for every piece in your Spyder and for your ego.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is not only for the greeting leg. I have just checked out the other legs, and I can really understand that. And to one extent or another, I'm living all of the legs, and that feels so satisfying, so fulfilling, really.
Really. No, it was amazing to see all the things you're doing, and you tried you tried for a little while to deny it until you realize, oh, I'm living it. And that's kind of that's the goal when you are talking about the wholeness. It's when you are fully integrated your ego with your soul, and you're taking action on that without valuing it has to be in a certain way. And then you feel this genuine life satisfaction.
Yeah, true.
So,
very true.
Yeah, it's okay. The time goes fast when you are in a conversation. So is there something specific you want to share with those who is listening, or an advice, or especially about the ego stuff?
No, I think what I would like to share is that I'm so happy we did this. You invited me, so I got an opportunity to really kind of dig into this again, and had those revelations I told about earlier, and also the confidence that that's how it is. I'm here. I'm living it, really. And yeah, what I also considered was that even if it's gone 12 years since we started, so the ego or the driving forces, they are more or less the same. Even if I try to sneak out and cheat,
Yeah,
you brought me back. You brought me back to significance, yes. So, and I haven't like jumped into other projects, and that is unconsciously.
Yes.
Because you got the opportunity to jump into different like business things or yeah, whatever it is. And so yeah, like unconsciously I have kind of stuck to my Spyder. And that
You
is
are
also
stuck
kind of,
to yourself, Agneta.
yes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Spyder is like my roadmap to myself. So so
It
I'm very
sounds,
happy and grateful for you and I'm also proud to be your like old Spyder, the first one. And it was such an amazing. I remember the session as well, this marathon stuff.
I do
But
too. And you had a cat who scared of me when we did it. Remember your cat?
yes, yeah.
Aragon.
He was Aragon. Yeah, he was how do you say it? Yeah, he really. Yeah, you know, when a cat comes and
exactly.
really, the English word is gone.
We
So
skip
anyway, the cat
now.
helped us in the process.
Okay, so you can just stay here a little bit, but I will say thank you for being here, Agneta. It has been a pleasure. I mean, the whole way from I'm asking you until you are sitting here and are willing to share with everyone. So it's really my pleasure.
Yeah.
And before we shut this down, I will say to you out there now, and take your time and sit down and do some reflection about all the sessions you have been listening to about the ego. Don't try to make anything up, just make a reflection and ask yourself, what has been the most important for me today? What has made an impact on me? And I think there should be there is a special place in the comments where you can share your reflections, and because it makes you more aware. Probably there is things that you haven't noticed today, but if you take you some time off, you can see what kind of success you have had with yourself today. Like Agneta, she had to make some reflection to realize about, wow, I'm doing so well and so good. And the ego love to celebrate success. So what?
Yes, I know. I love to
Yes.
celebrate as well.
Yeah. So by not making those reflections, you are stealing the joy from your ego. So satisfy your ego and let it know how successful you have been today.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And yeah, that's good. And you too. And I will do it. I will do it too, because it has been an exciting first day in the ego evolution for at least for me. And I hope
can imagine.
Congratulations
to that.
Yeah, it's so much fun. Okay, so for now, I wish you continue your day that just have started. And I am done with my day because it started getting dark. And then we see you all guys tomorrow again. So thank you for this and enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah.
Thank you, Birgitta. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.